Hey guys, Paloma here. A lot of you probably clicked in this video to see how much I made on OnlyFans, so I'll just get right to it. Started my OnlyFans account on July 1st, so it's 5 weeks in, and I've made $3,440, which is absolutely crazy because I didn't think that I'd be able to make that kind of money on the site, especially without doing nudity. I know many of you are probably on the fence about starting OnlyFans, or maybe you have started one, you don't really know how to grow your account, so I kind of just wanted to talk about my experience with making OnlyFans and promoting it for a month and give some tips to you guys that I would have found helpful on my first day. So like a lot of you, I was really on the fence about starting an OnlyFans because I didn't want people to know or find out I have an OnlyFans, so I came up with an alias that I would use from all my accounts related to my OnlyFans, like Twitter, Reddit, so it's less likely for someone to find me on OnlyFans. So if you plan on remaining anonymous, I would suggest coming up with an alias to use while creating your account. Before you actually start your account though, I would suggest figuring out what kind of content you're going to be putting out on your page. Before I even started, I knew that I didn't want to have any kind of nudity on my page, just in case someone I know did find my page. So I knew that I would have to find some other areas of content to appeal and attract people on my page. So for example, I do things like cosplays and fetishes in order to attract people on my page. Whatever kind of content you decide to post, just make sure you're comfortable with it and you're okay with posting those pictures, just in case it gets leaked, because once it's out there, it's out there. So I won't really go over too much of how to make an account, but once you've created an account, you have to figure out how much you want your subscription to be, which can be kind of scary. Looking at other people's accounts didn't really help me too much either, because some people would set their prices really low, like $3 or $4, and other people would send it up as high as $30, but it would go higher too sometimes. I really had no idea how much to charge for my subscription price and wanted to set it kind of low because I was scared people wouldn't subscribe if I set it too high. But after a while, I decided to set my subscription price at $12, which it felt fair for the content that I was going to be putting on my page. When you're trying to set your price, I would try to come up with a fair price for the content you're putting out, and to also set your subscription prices a little higher, because if nobody buys it at that price, you could always lower it. But if you set it too low and decide to raise it later on, your fans might get mad and leave. So in my opinion, it's just better to set it a little bit higher. What I usually do is just leave my sub price to $12. When it gets a bit slow, I usually do a 25% off promotion for 5 to 10 subs. And I wouldn't worry too much about your subscription price, because a lot of the money you do make will probably come from pay-per-view messages and tips, which I'll talk about later in the video. Before you even start promoting your page to others, I would highly recommend getting a few posts on your page first, just so a potential subscriber comes along. They might be more inclined to subscribe to you once they see how many posts you've made. They see the little count number of how many pictures and videos you have, because if a potential subscriber comes along and you don't have any posts on your page, they probably won't subscribe to your page since there's no content for them to consume. So just make sure to get a couple posts, pictures, videos on your page, and then when it's done, you can start promoting your page. So the biggest problem I've seen that people have come across when starting their accounts is trying to figure out where to promote their OnlyFans, because there's so many places to promote that it can be quite daunting for someone starting out. So for the first 5 weeks that I've been doing this, I basically used Twitter, Instagram, Periscope, and Reddit to promote my OnlyFans. So I know a lot of people have success on Twitter, but personally for me, it was kind of hard for me to dip my toes into it and try to learn the ins and outs of it, because it's very saturated in my opinion, and there are a lot of people promoting their OnlyFans on Twitter as well. It makes it kind of hard to get noticed in the sea of people just like you. What I usually do on Twitter is to follow other people who are on OnlyFans and follow and retweet those threads, which might boost my follower count on Twitter, but it might not really do much to promote my account. What I've done on Twitter was trade free subscription trials with other girls in order to boost each other's likes and fan count. I've probably done this with about 10 other girls, and it's helpful when you add others to your friends list. You'll pop up as a suggested model to consumers' point of view, which can lead to more exposure for you and your friends on the list. But that's basically all I've done on Twitter for the past 5 weeks. I'll probably find other ways to promote on Twitter so I could update you by the next video. I can't say I've had the best success with Twitter, but I'm sure a few subscribers have trickled their way in through there. Instagram isn't too great of a place to promote in my opinion, unless you already have a decent following. But if you're like me and you're trying to stay anonymous, then you need to create a whole new Instagram account. And it can be difficult to promote while trying to build a following on there. So I didn't have the best success on there because of that. Periscope, which is basically a live streaming platform, probably helped me gain my first few subscribers when I did it the first couple of days. So when I would get ready for a photo shoot for my OnlyFans and put on my makeup, I would just live stream and talk to the viewers joining the stream. And I got a few subscribers doing this. It doesn't really seem too reliable because it all depends on how many people actually want to join and watch your stream. And if nobody wants to watch your stream, then you can't really promote your OnlyFans. If you're doing your makeup though, or getting ready for pictures, I would just say to live stream on Periscope or any other live streaming platform. Really, since it's not too hard and you can just do it while you're getting ready or doing something else, and it might lead to a couple more fans. The place I had the most success promoting was Reddit. At first when I started, I didn't really want to promote on Reddit because I had no idea how to promote on there and didn't really know what it was or how it worked, which might be a lot of you too, so I'll try to explain what it is and and what I did to promote on it. So Reddit is basically a social media site that has a bunch of different forums for basically any topic that you can think of, like sports, video games, to more specific topics like cosplaying or foot fetishes. So I'd basically promote myself on there by posting pictures on different subreddits or threads that were relevant to me or the pictures I had taken, and if people liked what they saw, they would eventually subscribe to my OnlyFans. It can be a bit difficult to do this in the beginning since a lot of subreddits require for your account to be a certain age before posting in. When you do find a subreddit to post in, make sure you read the rules for that subreddit, because if you don't follow the rules, then your post won't actually show up to people. A lot of guys will probably try to DM you on Reddit, and when this happened, I would just talk to them and try to get to know them, and if they liked who I was, then some of them would eventually end up subscribing to my page. Overall, I would say the majority of my subscribers came from promoting on Reddit, so let me know in the comments if you guys want to hear more specifics about how to promote on Reddit and where I had the most success on Reddit, because in my opinion, it's one of the best places to promote OnlyFans. I kind of feel like I have the hang of it now. So these are the sites that I use to promote my OnlyFans, and I know there are tons of other places where you can promote, so if you know the ins and outs of other sites that you think that would be good for promoting, like TikTok for example, then you should probably also try to promote on there. Also, if you guys are looking for shoutouts from other OnlyFans creators, be sure to do your research on how effective the shoutouts from that person are. Like I mentioned before, you can trade free subscription trials with other OnlyFans creators in order to boost your fan account. And a lot of people might just do this in order to make it seem like they have a lot more paying customers than they do. And it might seem like someone has 400 fans on their page, but it's only 20 to 30 paying subscribers, and the rest of them are content creators like you. Then you won't get a lot of traffic from that shoutouts, and it would just be a waste of money. You can do some research for this by asking for a free subscription trial on that page that you want a shout out from. You can look at the comments from that person's posts, and by looking at the comments, you can figure out if they have a lot of engagement from content creators or actual paying subscribers. If you see that most of the comments are other content creators, then you should probably try to find a different page to shout you out. So basically, if you're looking for a page that does shoutouts, do your research and make sure that they actually have a lot of paying subscribers that could be interested in you. Once you actually have some fans, make sure to interact with them and message whenever you can. Actually getting to know your fans is really important to help build a connection with you and the fan, which might actually convince them to stay subscribed with you for another month. I usually try to chat with my fans every day or every other day just to check up with them and see how they're doing, getting to know them. While messaging them might seem like a lot of work or tiring, it can actually be fun since they're really nice and great to chat with, although you might run into a couple jerks along the way. Like I said before, the majority of my money came from pay-per-view messages and tips rather than just money I made from subscriptions alone. For the past 5 weeks, I've gained 65 subscribers and made $3,440. But since it's Onlyfans and they take their cut, I really only made $2,752. About $720 came from subscriptions, and the other $2,030 came from pay-per-view messages and tips. So 25% of my total income over the past 5 weeks was from subscriptions, and the 75% came from messages and tips, which is why I said you shouldn't really worry about your subscription price, because most of the money for me at least came from messages and tips. Many of your subscribers may request that you do some custom pictures or videos, and you could charge them extra for it. Whenever someone would subscribe to my account, I would preset a welcome message that welcomed them, and I would also ask if they wanted any custom content for me to make for them. Here you can see what my prices are and what kind of custom content I provided for my subscribers, in case some of you wanted an idea of what to offer and how much to charge for it. The prices that I chose for custom content are just the prices that I thought were fair for what I was offering. So if you don't want to copy me, you don't have to. So when I would get a request for custom content, I would make it for that person, and then once I had finished it and sent it to that person, I would also send it to other people who I thought would be interested in buying it as well. One of the reasons why I made so much from pay-per-view messages and tips, it's because I would send out customs that I already made to other people who would want to buy it. Usually I'll try to send out pay-per-view messages once or twice a week to everybody in order to see who likes to buy custom content and then who doesn't. Based on who buys the custom content from the pay-per-view messages, I figured out who likes to buy them and would send them more pay-per-view messages than to those who didn't care too much for them. Also, I want you guys to feel safe and comfortable with the content you're doing. Some fans might ask for content that you're not comfortable with doing, so don't feel pressured or something for doing something that you're not comfortable with just because the fan offers you more money to do it. They should respect your boundaries, and if that's not something that they can do, then that really isn't a person that you should want as a fan. So don't be too upset about potentially losing that fan. I've had a couple of people ask for different poses or nudes, and that's something I'm not really comfortable with doing, and I've had to tell them I'm not breaking my boundaries just for a little extra money. So those people, I'm not too worried that they're not going to resubscribe next month, and that's something I've accepted and I'm okay with. So I think that's all I have to talk about in this first video. If you want to make an OnlyFans account, be sure to use my referral link in the descriptions and comments below, since that would greatly help me. If you guys do end up using my referral link, send me an email and I will try to help you out in any way I can, since I get a percentage of the money you make, and that usually goes to the website. So it's in my best interest as well as yours to help you grow your page, and I will help you out whenever you need it. If you already made an account and found this video helpful and you would like to support me, make sure you like this video and share it to anyone you think would be useful for. And if you really like this video, you could subscribe to my OnlyFans and leave a tip. But I'm thinking about doing shout outs, so if you decide to do them, I'll leave a link for info about it in the description or comments. I'll try to do a video like this for a 2-month update, and I will try to post other tips, so let me know in the comments what other ideas I should talk about in the future videos. But thanks for watching, and I hope you guys learned something useful.